My dear children, welcome to our English time. How are you all? I think all of you are fine and safe at home. I know you are eagerly waiting to know what happened to your happy prince. Before that, the previous class we did many interesting activities, isn't it? Teacher asked you to prepare the thoughts of swallow. Did you prepare it? Yes, all of you have prepared and sent to a teacher. Let's have some of the thoughts prepared by your friends.
Oh God, how can I stand here alone when all my friends are in Egypt? If I go there, I can enjoy with my friends, but with Happy Prince, I can help all the poor kids. It is good to be with Happy Prince to do a good thing. It is a good decision.
My God, it is very cold. The winter is fast approaching. How will I go? The poor prince lost his sight. Happy Prince told me to go away to Egypt. I like Happy Prince.
Now, dear children, it is time to listen next part of the story. Shall we see a video?
Morning everybody, hope you guys doing alright. Now I'm in London. And now I'm not. Now I'm in the city of London. And this might be a play on words, but actually is not. This dragon right here is one of the 7 dragons that delimitate the surrounding of the city of London. You might be hearing this for the first time, but actually I'm gonna explain you everything about it in the next couple of minutes. Despite of these two Londons have similar names, they have different city halls who elect different mayors who collect different taxes to pay different police who enforce different laws. The Mayor of London has a fancy title. They call it the Right Honourable Lord Mayor of London, and has this fancy title to match this fancy outfit that he usually wears, and as well he rides in a golden carriage. The city of London has its own flag and its own crest. If you look at the map of London, if you look right at the center, you'll see that there is a square missing. This square is about 1.1 squared miles, and this is because the map of London does not include the city of London. It's actually known as the squared mile. This squared mile has a population of around 7,300 people. Another thing you should look for to know if you are in London or the city of London is to look at the street signs. If you see it underneath written City of Westminster, it means that you are in London. If it says City of London, well, you are in the city of London. As well, there's some poles on the street like this one that will tell you that you are in the city of London and not in London. It's very strange, very strange, and just a few people know about this. Alright guys, so behind me we have the Mansion House, and it's currently the official house of the Lord Mayor of London. It is a unique building used for business meetings, conferences and other affairs. It is located in the financial district across the Bank of England. Another fact is that the London Bridge and the London Tower are not owned by London's government. They are owned by the City of London.
What did you see in this video? Yeah, some beautiful city signs. Dear children, let us see what are the signs seen by your little swallow. I will read it for you, and you have to read it along with me.
The city sights. Dear little swallow, said the prince, fly over my city and tell me what you see there. The swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to my poor people. They always think that gold can make them happy. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. He took it to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the street. We have bread now, they cried.
Children, now one of your friends will read it for you, and you have to read it along with the friend and underline the difficult words.
The city sighed. "Dear little swallow," said the prince, "fly over my city and tell me, what do you see there?" The swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lands and saw the white faces of starving children. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. "I am covered with fine gold," said the prince. "You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to my poor people. They always think that gold can make them happy." Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. He took it to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the street. "We have bread now," they cried.
Children, did you underline the difficult words? Please have a look at this word. Starving. Do you know the meaning?
Means suffering or dying from hunger.
Dear friends, what signs did the swallow see in the city? Was it interesting? Yes, the rich people are making merry. They have a lot of money. They don't have hunger and poverty. But what about the poor people? They are suffering a lot. The swallow saw the starving faces of the poor children. Friends, please have a look at this question.
Did the gold given by the prince make the people happy?
You have to write down the answer of this question and send it to your teacher, right? What did the happy prince tell the swallow to do? Yes, take off his fine gold and give it to the poor people. Are the children happy then? Which sentence show you that? Yes, the children are happy then. They cried aloud. We have bread now. How did the swallow notice that the children are starving? Yes, their faces were white. They were starving, so their faces became pale and white. Do you have food to eat at home? Yes, all of you are happy at home, right? There are many children, they don't get food to eat. Let's have a watch on this video.
A person's meaning. According to a recent statistics, every 5 seconds, a child dies as a result of hunger. Don't waste food. Before you complain about the taste of your food, think of someone who has nothing to eat at all. We have no clue how the harvesting is done. The farmers commit suicide when the harvesting is not proper. There are thousands sleeping on the roads with an empty stomach. We get the food very easily, so we waste it without realizing for a minute. Let us all make it a habit of giving the leftovers to the hunger every night before we fall asleep.
How is the children in this video? Yes, very pathetic. Friends, we often waste food. Is it right to do so? No, we must not waste food. We have to give some others, those who are starving. Okay? Yes, students. Now let's move on to the next passage. The sacrifice. I will read it for you and you have to read it along with me.
Then the snow came. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder. But he could not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder once more. "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow," said the prince. "It is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. He fell down dead at his feet. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The leaden heart had snapped right in two.
Children, now one of your friends will read it for you. And you have to read it along with the friend and underline the difficult words.
The sacrifice. Then the snow came. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder. But he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. He tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just strength to fly up to the prince's shoulder. Once more, "Goodbye, my dear prince," he murmured. "I am glad that you are going to Egypt at last, little swallow," said the prince. "It is not to Egypt that I am going," said the swallow. He fell down dead at his feet. At the moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The leaden heart had snapped right in two.
Did you underline the new words? There are many new words. Have a look at this slide.
New words are flapping, murmured, curious, leaden heart, snapped.
These are new words. You have to refer the dictionary and find out the meanings and add it to your own dictionary. Now have a look at these questions. What happened to the happy prince? What sound was there? Something broke inside the happy prince. What was it? Yes, it was his leaden heart. Happy prince's leaden heart broke into two. What happened to the swallow? Yes, the swallow died. Now, dear children, it is time to listen next part of the story. Shall we see a video? What did you see in this video? A big tragedy. The tragic end of our General Bipin Rawat. Now, let's see what happened to our happy prince. I will read it for you and you have to read it along with me.
The tragic end. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up at the statue. "Dear me, how shabby the prince looks," he said, "and here is actually a dead bird at his feet," continued the mayor. As he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. It's time we pull down the statue. So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince.
Children, now one of your friends will read it for you. And you have to read it along with the friend and underline the difficult word.
The tragic end. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up at the statue. "Dear me, how shabby the happy prince looks," he said. "And here is actually a dead bird at his feet," continued the mayor. "As he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful. It's time we pulled down their statue." So they pulled down the statue of the happy prince.
Children, did you underline the difficult words? Look at this word, shabby.
Shabby means dirty.
Why did the mayor decide to pull down the statue? Yes, it was not beautiful. It was ugly. How was it earlier? Yes, it was very beautiful. Now it is shabby and useless. So the mayor decided to pull down the statue. Dear friends, if an incident like this happens in your locality, it will be reported in next day's newspaper, isn't it? Now it's time to prepare a newspaper report. Do you imagine yourself as a reporter and prepare a news report? Are you ready to do that? Now, what are the features of a newspaper report? Yes, the first thing is that it should have a heading. What about the next thing? Yes, we should mention the place and date. What about the next thing? Yeah, how it occurred and where it occurred. Is that enough for a news report? Please have a look at this. Now you can easily prepare a news report. All of you take page number 123. Now have a look at the activity number 1. The heading is done for you. All of you have to prepare and send to your teacher.
Dear children, let's go to another activity. Please take page number 125. Activity number 5. The mayor decided to remove the statue of the happy prince. Do you agree to his decision? Write a letter to the mayor stating your opinion. I think you all know how to write a letter. In the previous unit, the letter to God, we have learned how to write a letter, isn't it? A sample of letter is given for you. You please write a letter and send it to your teacher. Okay? Right? Children, there is another task for you. Please take page number 126. Activity number 6. Some people in the city decided to prepare a notice to be put up against the removal of the statue. Prepare a likely notice. Do you know how to prepare a notice? What is a notice? A notice is a written or printed announcement that display information to a specific group of people. Then, what are the important features for a notice? Look at this. What is the notice about? Then, who is addressed to? Where is the event? When is the event going to happen? What to do? The instructions are written related to the notice. Whom? Whom to contact or get in touch with. Children, a sample of notice is given for you. You prepare a notice like this and send it to your teacher. Okay? Now you have read the story, The Happy Prince, isn't it? Can you think of other titles for the story? One is suggested here, The Crying Statue. Children, all of you try to find some other titles like this and write in your notebook. Send it to your teacher. Okay?
Dear friends, do you like to hear rhymes? Shall we see a video?
Chubby cheeks, dimpled chin, rosy lips, teeth within, curly hair, very fair, eyes are blue, lovely too, teacher's pet. Is that you? Yes, yes, yes.
Now dear friends, please go through these expressions. Leaden heart, golden cheeks. These are the expressions from the story Happy Prince. These words are used for describing. These are describing words. Now you have to go to another interesting activity. Take page number 132 and activity number 2.
Match the describing words given in column A with the ones given in column B.
Dear friends, after matching it, you can recite it rhythmically and send to your teacher. Are you ready to do that? Yes, I know. You are very much interested to do these activities. We can meet again next English class. Till then, bye-bye.